Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're taking a look at this awesome fully retractable motorized instrument cluster display for Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. This has got a lot of benefits, one being the airflow blockage issue. So if you want the instrument cluster display, you can have it on demand by simply pressing a button. And if you don't want the instrument cluster display, or you don't want any blockage of the airflow, you just press a button and it goes away. It hides from your view. This has got a lot of benefits. It does not take very much real estate. You press a button, it retracts, you get all of your critical car information directly on your view, but you don't want to see it? No problem. You press a button, it goes away. So the company did tell me that this is one of the very first unit that the factory ever made. So nobody else has this unit out there, and they wanted me to be the first person to test this out for them, report any bugs. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be installing this, show you all the bugs and everything that I found. And they told me that all of those bugs are going to be cleaned out and it will be production ready by the time you should get your shipment. But again, I don't work for this company, so hope that they do clean out all of those bugs before shipping it out. There are some bugs, and I'm going to talk about that in the video. This product was sent to us free of charge by Tesla Studio to review in our channel. But if I go to their website here, I don't find this product anywhere as I'm making this video. So I do not know what it costs. I have no idea on any of that. Hopefully they list the product by the time I post this video and make it live. But Tesla Studio does have a large selection of Tesla products, like this 8.8-inch screen that we reviewed, electric sunshade, if you want to check it out. And for any of their products, if you click here, add to cart, and if we go to the cart right here, if you want to put a coupon code of Shiva Tesla, so SHIVA-TESLA on the coupon code item, you will get a huge discount that saves you money. So $105 on this electric sunshade. In return, we will make a very small commission at no additional cost to you, which greatly helps us make videos like this in the future. Thank you so much. Let's get started. Check if you have an Intel or the AMD chip. Go to your vehicle setting, go to software menu, go here and press on this additional vehicle information. And this is where you are going to see, if you look closely on this pop-up here, it will show that infotainment processor is AMD Ryzen. So if you have the Intel Atom, this is where it will show that it is an Intel Atom. Next, we're going to remove the side dash trim panel on both sides of the car. We need to also remove this side door panel on both sides. If your car has an AMD chip, you also have to remove the bottom door panel. Once you remove the side trim panels on both sides, the dash easily comes out. Now after you remove that bracket, I would also recommend you remove this weather stripping temporarily so it is easier to work in this space. There's the next step is to remove this plastic fastener. From here, you can just use a pry tool that came with the kit like this and just remove this plastic fastener from here. It's a super simple step, and when you do that, it actually allows us to remove this entire panel altogether. So if you look at it here, this is loose and we can remove this whole thing and set it aside. Now there is two more things we have to do. One is right here. We got to remove this so we can access the blue OBD plug from inside. So remove this. Now when you remove this, there is the blue OBD plug. That is it. That is our data plug that we need to connect to for this installation. So they're nice enough to send you both male and female of the OBD port because once you plug this in, the Tesla only has a female port there. Once you plug this in, you will lose access to other accessories in the future. So they actually send you both, which is really nice. Now we just plug this in, you still have this end. You can tap this for now and just cover it using electrical tape, but you don't have to. Now to install this is super easy. You take this male end of the plug, align it with the female end of the Tesla, and then simply slide this in. So blue matches the blue, and once you find that spot and align it, you just click it into its place, and there you have it. That OBD is now connected there. This is an extra plug, as I said, so you can connect other accessory in the past, and you can just hide that. Now we just need power for this connection, which is this plug. Now for the AMD car, this is your power plug, and it even says the AMD power source here on the level. And how you install this is super easy. This is your 12-volt power and the Tesla. So this is where we're going to be tapping into it, creating a Y connector. So first what we do is we remove this plug by pinching on the middle here and pulling this plug out. And as soon as you remove it, you take the male end of this new harness and plug it right into the 12-volt port here. And then you create a bypass here and then plug it into the female end. So it clicks into its place. There you have it. The power source is now done, and we did the whole Y connector. Everything is happy. Now that was the AMD connection, but if you have an older Intel car, this is how you do that connection. You don't tap here. You just go underneath here and remove those 4 plastic fasteners, and you'll get access to the computer. 4 plastic screws. You can use a pry tool to remove them. Once the panel is removed, you will see the LED light connector, which can be removed by pinching on the middle tab and pulling it out. Then the speaker plug can be disconnected by simply pulling on the plug. This is the difficult plug we need to remove for the cars with an Intel chip. You just have to pinch on the middle tab, and while holding it down, pull the plug out. Then take the new harness and plug the male Tesla adapter into the female adapter of the new harness, and then take the new male adapter and plug it into the Tesla computer. Make sure to align the plug straight to prevent bending Tesla pins. Again, this is super tedious and requires a lot of patience. At the end, it should make a complete circuit. On this next step, we are going to lay the cable flat on the dash over there and put some masking tape. I know this is an added step, but it makes your life so much easier if you just put this masking tape, because we don't want these cables coming into these clips when we put the dash. And it's a hassle. It could ruin your cable. So just put some masking tape to organize this. It makes your life easier later. Now this next part requires removing this panel here. To make this a little bit easier, make sure your steering wheel is all the way out so that this process becomes easier. So pull this out so you have enough room to work with here. Next, you're going to grab your pry tool here and just remove this 2 pins that you see here. So there's one right here. And then once this comes out, you don't have to completely remove it. You can leave it right there. Then the next pin is the same thing. So these pins are out. With those removed, you are able to pull this thing out. This is the leather piece here, and we are able to remove this by simply inserting our hands on the back here, and then you can then lift up on this panel here. You can use your pry tool. You can insert the pry tool here to help a little bit, but you can apply some pressure from behind here, and you should be able to pull this out. Now go around and do the same thing. Just keep in mind, my panel is probably really loose because I have done this so many times, but you just have to do it from both sides here, and you should be able to just remove this. There are these pins that are just holding down here. There are no screws, nothing else. So this is a pretty straightforward opening, but if you have never done this again, this might be a little scary, but just know that don't apply too much pressure, but you do have to apply some firm pressure here. Now this next step requires us removing this cloth part, this leather part from our existing Tesla bracket, and then insert it here, because up to here these are the same panel. The height is the same, everything is the same, but right here we don't have this piece, the cloth piece here. So we're going to replace this or remove this from here and then install it here. And to do that, you simply have to push up on these edges here. So there's one bracket here, push up and then it comes out, push up and then that one comes out. Then you just have to pinch these two together, and then that one comes out. So there are multiple of them. You just have to pinch it. Again, if you have never done this, this might be a little bit hard. Ours is probably pretty loose. And to install it, same process. You just have to insert these 2 panels here, the clips, and all those clips are in. And now we simply lift up on this, secure that, lift up on this, secure this. Then we take the wire that we routed from the bottom and just plug it in here. This is the plug that we routed earlier. We simply just take this and plug it here. There's a little notch that gets aligned, so just look for this slot in the back, and once you align them, you just push it in here and it plugs in. So this is good to go. Now we can get this installed. Installation is exactly like how we removed it earlier. All you have to do is make sure all of these plugs are outside. We can clean that up in just a second here. And then you just slide this in to its place, and it should fit perfectly because it's the exact same size, everything. So it should fit perfectly. You just have to then secure this, then clip it down everywhere. And you just have to apply some force. So let's see right here. So you should hear that click when it goes in, and then this should secure it in its place. So just go around and then do that on all directions here and make sure that this is fully secure. Then we can go ahead and finish up the installation process. Once this is secure, then you can go ahead and push these clips in exactly like how they came out. So have to align it and then push it in on both sides. Now you can adjust the steering wheel, just making sure that everything is good to go. We're going to push this in, and it's like, looks like it's fine. So this is good to go. Now we can go ahead and install this dash by, again, just sliding it into its place. Align the dash on where it needs to go, and it shouldn't be a very difficult process for it to align and clip it down. So just make sure it can clip down on all directions. And if it is standing up a little bit on some directions, then you know that the cable came on the way. So just make sure that there is no cables that are on the way. And if there are, you want to align those cables and make sure they become flush. So this dash is flush for us. There is no gap in here that it wasn't there before. So we are good to go on our end. Now we just need to install the side panels, and we are done with the install. When not in use, it does not take any real estate. This is very simple, flat design there from the side view here, and it matches with Tesla's interior. So the black, the steering wheel, all of that matches really well. To lift this up, you just have to press on this middle button, and it lifts up, shows all of that information. And to retract it, you just have to press on it again. It's pretty fast. The motor is pretty fast, actually. I had to commend them for that. So that's what happens. Now, if you're wondering, well, that's one button. What are these two things for? I wish it was more useful, but this is just brightness setting. So this one is the brighter and this one is dimmer. So you press on it, it dims for you. And you press this one, it brightens. This is a missed opportunity. They could have totally made this button do something different, like change a UI or something. But no, they use it for brightness. They could have made one button. When you press on it, the brightness goes up, and then just press and hold, the brightness will go down. I don't know why they would need two buttons for that, but missed opportunity here. Perhaps they should also add buttons at the back for other things like settings. Anyhow, so this is what you see here on the main screen. This is for time. And this are all the headlight signs. All the indicators are on the top. So you look at it here. That's the high beam, the seat belt, the temperature. This is only in Celsius right now. I cannot figure out how to change that. This is not a touch screen, so that needs to go to Fahrenheit. You see the speed in the middle, you see the gear in the bottom, and then you see the battery percentage here. So the gear selection, as you see, going into drive, going into neutral, all of that is shown directly there. And of course, on the very top, the turn signal indicators. That's where we are going to see all of that there. And this space, this empty space, is reserved for the door indicator. So when you open the door, you see that. You also see the trunk and the front opening. So if I look at this, if I open the trunk, you'll see that there is that orange sign, which is a pretty cool animation. So I'm going to close the trunk, and once that is closed, that animation, all of that goes away, and it hides, which is really good. I just want that car to be red to match with mine, but that's the problem for another day. But overall, that's what you see. Let's take this on a road and I'll show you what it does. All right, so this is the road testing of this instrument cluster display. As you can see, it is very simple. Doesn't have much, but perhaps that is what we need. I don't like that this is the 24-hour clock as well as the Celsius. I haven't been able to change that, but other than that, this is great. I also see that seatbelt sign, even though there is nothing on the front seat. Tesla is not showing that, so there's obviously bugs with this. Just keep in mind, this is like the first unit they ever produced, they say. So I have what you call the beta testing unit apparently. So this is pretty great for like the first unit they produce and shipped, and they say they're constantly improving the software. I just wanted to take a look at it and provide my feedback about what I see. This is what you see in the road testing. Here is the right turn, here's the left turn, here's the high beam. Now let's try the autopilot. No autopilot indicator, so it does not support that. Here is a close-up look of what you can see. Very simple UI. There's not much to this. This is a very, very simple device. And as I say, the turn signal, the light, all of that is visible, high beam. So you just see the very basic information here. Okay, so I just talked about how there was a 24-hour clock, and now I have no clock. So there's no time. And maybe that's okay. Maybe I don't need time there. Maybe I need tire pressure there. But the time went away, so that is obviously a bug. The seatbelt sign is a bug because obviously Tesla is not showing the seatbelt sign. Only this thing is showing it there. And don't get me started with the unit. Miles per hour, well, that's right. But so many times in the channel, we had talked about how it should look like this. MPH, match with Tesla. You know what happens is when they miss that, that shows that they didn't put much thought into that specific design. If they had, it would just look like Tesla's MPH. I don't know what is so hard about that. I have complained about that so many. It bugs me every single time when I look at it. It's like, just get it right. Just get it right. It shows that you put thought into it, into the design, and you wanted to match with Tesla's interior. I get it. This is a prototype again, going back to the same thing. So here's my feedback. Test Studio, fix that, make it look like that. That's all I'm asking. But other than that, the fonts, I think they did a good job. The gear selection, you can clearly see that. There's an empty space there. Perhaps they can fill with the range. Right now, you can see the range on the right, the 72%, but I want to see actual number. So they got to put something here, and there's a space in the bottom perhaps. And yeah, so other than that, this is a very simple device that just shows the basic car information while you're driving. You can see the turn signal, you can see the high beam, all of that. Here is a top view of what this folding and unfolding look like. As you see, it's pretty cool. You press the button and it folds. Now, if you regularly watch our channel, you know what this is. This is our state-of-the-art airflow system testing. So what we're gonna do is be testing how much airflow buckets this little device has going directly to my face. And right now it is 0, so you'll barely see any movement. It should be nothing. It's really hot, so let me turn on the airflow. We're going to set this to 1. So this is airflow of 1. You barely see any movement on the paper. If we bring this closer, you'll see a little bit there, but not too much. Now let's bring this up to 5. So this is with 5, and you start seeing a lot more airflow going straight here. And if you look at it, that's the airflow. So you see it from the first person view there. That's all the airflow. If we put it here so the arc is not blocking it, you still get it. That's pretty decent, and I feel it. I feel the airflow going to my face. So right here, so you see the paper moving, so it has got that airflow. Now let's bump this up to 10. That's the maximum airflow. And as you can imagine, that is a lot of airflow directly going to my face. The paper is moving really fast, and yeah. So does a pretty good job. But if we fold this, then we should get unobstructed flow. Yep. that is better than when this was unfolded. So let me unfold this and see the live effect of this. Yep, it slowed down a little bit. I can see it right here in the paper. As soon as I unfold that, it slowed down, and if I take this out, it increases it. So it does block a little bit of the airflow, and you saw that with the before and after, but now I could do a live testing of when this thing is there and not there. So that's your airflow testing. And I love it when people think outside of the box. It's not the same old product that we have reviewed in the channel before. This is a unique design and a very welcome design as well, because this solves partially, not fully, but it solves partly the airflow issues for me. That's the biggest problem solver for this product. You press a button, on demand, you have instrument cluster display. It gets really hot, it gets unbearable, and you're like, I wish I could temporarily remove this. You just press a button, it goes away. Keep in mind, if you want to still use the instrument cluster display, it does block a little bit of the airflow as we saw earlier, but it's really good. It does not block as much airflow even when it is unfolded, because it's just a very small real estate in the front. So they solved that issue. It also does the job what it is intended to do. A very basic instrument cluster display that shows the most basic car information, critical car information, directly on your view. And I get it, this was supposed to be a prototype unit, and they made just a few of this unit, sent one out for my review so they can better this product before they send it for production. And here are my feedback. They need to fix the software patches. I think one software upgrade, they should be able to knock this out. The temperature, the time issue, some of the seatbelt warning, and I also want to see the actual battery range in the bottom, not just the battery temperature or percentage there. So I think that's also an easy fix. They could incorporate that without any issues. I get it, this is supposed to be a basic functionality, but I think they also need to put the autopilot warning, the autopilot nag. That should be a basic function by now. If it was 2-3 years ago when I first started reviewing instrument cluster display, incorporating autopilot was a very hard thing to do on instrument cluster. Now they know the code, they figured it all out, they know how to map the Tesla's OBD, and they should be able to figure that out. So I call that a basic function. They need to include the autopilot warning, the autopilot sign, the flashings and everything that comes, the nag. They should be able to incorporate that, and I call that a basic function now. They should also make sure that we are able to change some of those settings, the control of the setting. Maybe I did something wrong, but the scroll wheels don't work. It's not a touch screen, so I can't change those settings. So hopefully they figure that out on the software patch where I'm able to change the setting, and there will be a follow-up video showing you all about it if they make those changes. I'll keep you posted on what changes that they're making as I find out. What also gets me excited about this is, imagine this is version 1. This is the first product of this lineup, and they did a really good job at implementing this. This looks really nice. It looks very OEM because it's hidden. It matches with the interior. It doesn't look so, out of place. It looks really nice, especially folded. You can't even see it. So they did a really good job. Now imagine that's version 1. What they could do with version 2, they start making this touch screen, add Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, they add front camera, the side blind spot detection system. I think there is a lot of future for this product, especially because it just folds and unfolds on demand. If they could incorporate all of those high-end technology here, I think we'll have a winner. But what matters the most is your feedback. Remember, all your feedback in the past have resulted in better products, and they keep making all of this instrument cluster iteration a lot better every time they are putting out a new product. And I wish they could just stick to a software upgrade and keep upgrading it, but they want to create new hardware. In this case, this is a totally different hardware. It's not a same old hardware that we are seeing. This retracts, folds. It's a really great concept. It's a new concept. So please let me know your feedback in the comment section below. That's the lifeline of this channel. Open forum, anything. Your things that you like, things that you hate. Comment for Test Studio, comment for myself. Anything you want to let me know, please do that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and come back again for another Tesla accessory video.